All right, we're live. Good evening, good evening, good evening. You want to put that up on the page, Bob?
Yes, sir.
I'll.
It's just notifying me right now.
Evening. You want to put that up on
Okay. Hello po, Ma'am Christina Sebes. Congratulations yesterday. Jonah Joy Pasqua, hello. Hello, Ma'am Janice C. Benitez and Ma'am Jessa Lotino.
Good evening, all. Welcome to the new live. Talking about.
Oh, di ba? But they also noticed our shirt. We're on a couple shirt. We're white team today. Hindi po kami nag-usap.
So.
Ibar Dolosa. Mary Rose Ibar Dolosa. Hello, ma'am.
Current tab. Manta Ray share. Okay, we'll go back there. I think we'll see if that works. If not, I'll change it again. All right. So, how are we going, guys?
Hello po, Ma'am Marlene Miranda. Hello, Ma'am Gemma Fabi. Last time, naka-blue, Ma'am. Hehe. Ay, talaga ba? I didn't notice that we're both wearing blue last live.
I had like a dark blue, light blue, white shirt on last night.
Okay. Okay. And then today, white. It's nagkataon lang po. Nagkataon lang po. Pero,
I'm wearing my shirt again.
Mm.
I seem to wear it all the time when I'm doing lives. So how are we all, guys? So basically today I finished my open water dive course. Yay, I passed. I'm officially an open water diver. Had some really good dives today off North Stradbroke. We were at Shags Rock, they call it. It goes down to about 14 meters. We didn't hit the 18-meter mark, but that's okay because the weather was getting bad and the seas were getting a bit choppy. So we didn't go out wide to the 18-meter depth. So it's all good. We didn't mind. We had some really good dives. The first dive was for 44 minutes because I ran low on air, and we had to all go back because I was running low on air. And it was amazing. It really, really was amazing to see the dives and what we found. It was just great. I'll get into what I found in a little bit, but I just want to say, guys, if you ever think about wanting to do your scuba course, I recommend it because one of the things that I loved the most about it was exploring the underworld. Um, like as you're swimming along, you've got the big rocks, you got underhangs, you just got all this coral that you can sit there and look at, and it's different than above water. Like you got tree, ooh, flower, tree. But then you got so many different corals that look they might be the same, but they're all individual. Like I had a coral that was shaped like this, and it had little bits sticking up everywhere, and there was all these tiny little fish living in it. And thank you, Paul, for the belated happy birthday. Thank you very much. It's
Halatang gusto niya yung course. Gusto yung certain yun. They said that it's really noticeable that you really like the course that you're into, the diving
Yes,
course. Mm-hmm.
I love
That's
the
too bad
water.
that you cannot take photo because it is not allowed, no?
Yeah.
Hindi po
So
allowed sa kanila na mag-take ng
maybe
pictures kasi naka-video.
maybe maybe in a week or so, I might be able to track down some footage from our dives because one of the diving instructor had a GoPro Hero 9, and he's got me swimming sideways, and I'm sitting there going like this. So um, there might be some photos of all of us together. Might be some videos of the dive. So we'll have to wait until they sort them out, and then maybe I might be able to get some photos of me while we're under. And he tried getting video of photos of Manta Ray and all this other stuff. But I recommend anyone to learn to dive. Um, it is an amazing thing to do. It takes a little bit getting used to the breathing part, and I've still got to get better at it. Like as one of the YouTube channels I watch, which is called Divers Ready, James in Miami, Florida. Um, if he's seen me underneath the water today, or even through any of my training, he would say that I looked like a pissed off puffing dragon
Why?
because you breathe in really quick and then blow out really quick. So you're supposed to, instead of going short breaths in and then out, you're supposed to go in and then out. So you're supposed to do like a breath for like 4 seconds in and then 4 seconds out. So you slow your
So,
breathing down and your air consumption. Once you get to 4 seconds and you know you're doing it normally without even thinking, you can try
mhm.
upping it to 5, 6, 7 seconds.
That's when you're
Um,
already wearing the oxygen mask,
your regulator.
the regulator. You have
Mm,
to breathe in. You have to count four before you breathe in, and then four. You have to count four while breathing, and then count four while breathing
mm.
out.
Yeah. So another
Okay,
thing
gotcha.
with the scuba diving, it's you got to learn how to do buoyancy. So you go up and down with your breathing, and you can pretty much control your buoyancy whether you raise up or you go lower to
Uh-oh.
the ground by your breathing. So, say I'm swimming along and I've got a big rock coming up. I breathe in deeply, so my lungs fill up with air, and I go up. Now, I've breathed in a lot of air, so what I do is do a short blowout, so I wouldn't blow out all my lung capacity, and then I'll breathe in again, so I'll go up higher and I'll go over the obstacle. Now, once I got to the other side of the obstacle, how do I come down? Well, you breathe in small, blow out long, and then you go back down.
Oh,
So
so
it takes
like Mixie said, also like getting used to it first, really need to understand the protocols.
yes, yeah, you got to do it all safe and stuff like that. I was saying to the dive instructors, what I may try to go for my dive master, which is
Mm-mm.
going to take a while. I'm not going to rush it because there's other certificates and certifications that I need to get first, and it's going to cost, especially here in Australia, it will cost me a lot more than what it would be if I did in the Philippines.
How much did, because
Um,
over here in the Philippines, kung mag-enroll ka sa diving course, kasi meron dito sa Subic na nag-offer ng mga ganyan eh. Ang babayaran mo nasa 15,000 to 18,000 sa course po. How much does it cost in Australia for a
well,
diving course?
the one that I booked in Cebu, Bob, that was only
Hmm.
going to cost me 13,000. So you can get it slightly a little
Oh.
bit cheaper. So you just got to look around.
Mm-mm.
But in Australia, my course cost me $700.
700. That's
Yeah.
roughly around 21,000
Mm.
or 25.
So
Depends
for
kasi.
me, for me to do it in the Philippines, it's a great idea to do more courses in the Philippines. One, more money goes back to the Philippines, and two, it's slightly cheaper, and I can do it when I'm on a
Yes,
holiday.
yes.
But I'd love to
Almost
be able to.
selfish.
There's so many places. I just seen a YouTuber, Facebooker. I was scrolling on Facebook before, and it popped up on one of the diving sites that I'm watching on Facebook. She's a Filipina,
Mm-mm.
um, and she's got her own little YouTube channel. Um, she was diving in South Leyte.
Leyte.
Um,
South Leyte.
potato, potato. Um, yeah, she was
Ang
diving
mahal
in.
naman. Ma'am Christine Nasebe said it's expensive to do the diving course.
Yeah, it can
Sobra
be,
po.
but if it's something that you want to do, it's worthwhile doing.
Mm-mm. Hello, Ma'am
Um,
Mia Dixon.
well, you think about it. If I had a big giveaway and I was giving away 15,000 pesos, well, you can get your scuba course.
Yeah, that's right. Well, at least you're able to do something that you like to do,
Yeah,
and most especially that you enjoyed so
oh,
much.
I had so much fun with this diving course. Um, some of the things that I didn't like was the filling the mask up with water,
Oh,
because I don't like opening my eyes underwater. So in the chlorine pool, my eyes were stinging, and in the salt water, my eyes were stinging. But it's skills that you need to learn, and the reason why is because when you're swimming with a bunch of people and you're all really close, it can quite easily someone can kick the mask off your face. So you got to be able to put the mask back on or clear the water from the mask. So it's a good skill
so
to
same
learn.
problem, just like this, just like the first time. Because I remember the first time they also asked you to put on and put it out the mask.
Yeah, that was in the pool. So
Ah.
now when I was in the ocean today doing my
Congrats,
dive,
sir, team, 3K subscribers. Thank you po.
thank you, Paul.
Actually, Baba, Richelle just told me a while ago that the the video for the
Yeah,
giveaway.
It's hit 1K
Yeah,
view
yeah,
in three
yeah.
days.
Thank you so much. In just 3 days po, 1,000 views para sa ating video na giveaway. Hopefully, we're gonna
Guys,
reach more po.
we need you guys to help us spread it further, because this by the mechanics alone in this should make it reach 5,000 views, 10,000 views, because there are so many people that could be sharing this out and it could be reaching more people. Now,
Mm-mm.
I hope it reaches 5,000 views, 10,000 views. I'm not trying to be greedy. I am not going to make very much money off it at all. Like, I think I made $1.20, $1.20 off that video. Um, I just want it
Well,
to reach more people. Like, it's going to take this channel to grow a lot more before any sort of money, decent money, can go back into these giveaways and make a difference. But
congrats,
what
sir,
we
team.
need,
Always support from
thank
Lisel
you.
San Pedro Sia. Thank you, Ma'am Lisel.
So what we need is the support of people pushing it out more, like especially with this giveaway, because it's multi-entry and you can tag a person on the Facebook post. The more people you tag, if you tag 500, I understand that it's going to take a long time to do that. You get 500 entries into the giveaway of the 53 prizes that are up for grabs, plus it's spreading the word out more and more and more. So hopefully, guys, you can get aboard and spread it as far as you can through all your friends, family. If you got friends overseas, let them know to
Yeah.
spread it too.
Mm-mm.
So now, guys, with this course, I think it was really well done. They were very patient with the students, which was amazing. Um, we had Katerina and Hannah, which are both Brazilians. So, funny thing is, I'm actually in Australia doing my dive course, but I've got Brazilians teaching me. because they've come to Australia, and they got into scuba diving and stuff like that. Like both of them did their open water in Brazil, but they've done all their other training, which is a lot of training to get to instructor here in Australia. So it was great to see. I actually asked them because we were sitting down having a bite to eat after the course had finished today, and I said to them,
Mhm.
"How many countries in the world have you gone to work as an instructor?" And they go, "Only here." And I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I know a lot of foreign instructors go overseas, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, you name it, wherever, the Bahamas, all them, the Caribbeans and stuff like that. They'll go to different countries to train and be instructors and stuff like that, and they keep moving around because it's a good way to see different places. Like I had a I had a vision for Zoe, and I had a vision for Joe,
Or
and that
Joe.
was both, and that was both of them to become scuba divers.
You don't have
Now,
vision for me?
no, just our kids.
Yun ang problema po, hindi ko kasi ako marunong lumangoy eh. So, sabi ni Ma'am Christina Aceves, good luck sa training mo, sir. Soon, sir. So, good luck to your
Mm.
training. Well,
Well, then,
the training for the course is already done, di ba?
yeah, I finished the course. The next
Mm-mm.
course I want to do is the Enriched Air Nitrox course, which is bookwork. There's no diving required for it. It's just understanding nitrox, how it affects your body and stuff like that. It's a 4-hour course. That's one that I want to watch. One I want to do. But I'm going to slowly build my skill level up because I want to get to dive master, and then maybe one day I'll become an instructor. I don't know. Like I said to the instructors today, um, can I try and speak a little bit to Carlon? Oppo?
Sige po. Sabi mo, babasahin mo, sige po.
Bucket?
Sige po.
There's not a lot of words. I can't say enough to put into a sentence. Probably the best sentence that I could say that could affect more people than anything is mahal kita.
Mahal din kita.
That's the one that I know most. But yeah, like I would love to see Joe and Zoe become scuba divers and work up to dive master or something like that. One dive masters in the Philippines can actually probably make more money than you can, bub. Believe it or not.
Mm.
If you're a really good dive master in the Philippines, you could be paid to do tour guides for people
Uh-huh.
$1,000 a guide.
That's American dollars.
No. That's Philippines, 1,000 pesos
Okay,
a
okay.
dive. So you say, right, you think about it. If you had 3 or 4 dives,
A
uh,
day.
no, 3 or 4 dives a week, like
Okay.
each. I'm saying a dive is a day. You might do
Oh,
3 or 4 dives in that day, but say if you had 3 or 4 dives
a
in
week.
a week, if you can get to 5 dives in a week or 6 dives, if you just constantly work, and you may say, right, I'm going to dive with this group, do 2 in the morning, and then I'll take another group 2 in the afternoon. Well, that's 2,000 pesos in one day.
Oh,
Some of these dive masters can make 20 or 30,000 pesos in a month if they're
a
really
month.
good, and they've got constant customers coming,
Oh,
and that's them
so
doing it privately.
that's
If they work for a dive shop, they might
uh,
make 500 a dive, and the dive shop takes most of the money.
so yun. So yun nga yung sinasabi po ni Tim, kung sakaling ikaw ay isang dive master at gusto mo kung meron ka mang diving So, yung mga kasama ka, ikaw ay tour guide nila, per dive, meron kang 2,000 pesos. So, kung meron kang 3, 4, 5, 6 a week, so meron kang 6,000, gano'n. Malaki-laki yung sinasahod ng dive master. Mas malaki na sinasahod ng teacher. Kasi ang sahod ng teacher ngayon parang nasa 7 to 800 pesos a day. So, mas malaki. Bob, I think I have to learn to dive.
That's the thing,
I'm
because
I'm gonna transfer to that.
one
Certain,
of the
what is the most unforgettable experience when you were here in the Philippines?
most unforgettable
When
skipping
you're with me.
skipping rocks with them kids.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that. Just too bad that we're not able to take video of that. Kasi nung
Mm.
nasa Cebu po kami, alam niyo ba yung skipping of rocks? Yung binabato mo yung bato sa tubig, tapos tumatalon-talon yung bato hanggang sa maabot kayo yung malayong part ng tubig or dagat or ilog. Ayun, ganun po yung ginawa namin na tuwan-tuwa yung mga bata sa Cebu hanggang sa naglapitan silang lahat and then tinuruan silang lahat ni team kung paano gawin yung skipping rocks. That is a great idea, Sir Tim, since
Yeah, so
not a lot
mixing.
are doing that as a
Yeah,
profession.
a lot of people, a lot of Filipinos, I should say, are not doing it as a profession because a lot of them can't make up the money for it. Now, I said to Julie that we would help the kids achieve that, but at the same time, they must pay the money back once they reach it. Why? Because people need to learn the value of money and not have been handed to them. I was raised that way. It's a very Western way. I know it's not a Filipino way. Like Filipino way,
Please.
the Filipino way is basically if I wanted Zoe to become a dive master or a dive instructor, you would pay their whole way with nothing in return.
Yeah.
But that is not me. That is not how I was raised. If you give someone something to get somewhere and they don't pay it back in return or work it off somehow, they don't learn the value of the money. They just think they can keep asking and asking and asking. That mentality needs to stop. It doesn't help anyone because all you're doing is relying on someone else, someone else, and someone else, and then blaming someone else. You're in the situation that you're in.
Yan. So, yun yung palagi namin pinagtatalo ng dalawa. Kasi nga, ang gusto niya guys, kasi sa ating mga Filipino, normal sa atin na, oh, anak kita, kailangan kitang pag-aralin hanggang matapos ka. Yun yung, kumaga, ang tanging yaman na ipapamana ko sa'yo ay yung edukasyon mo. While ang paniniwala naman niya, ni Tim nga, ay kailangan niyang pagtrabahuhan kung gusto niyang mag-aral. Kung tutulungan kita mag-aral, but you have to pay me back. Para hindi ka matuto na, hindi ka matutong umasa ng umasa, humingi ng humingi. Nagigets ko yung, tawag nito, nagigets ko yung sense ng sinasabi niya. Pero, Filipino ako eh. I was born na ganon. Pag anak mo, paraalin mo. Kasi niluwal mo yan, meron kang tungkulin sa batang yon. Responsibilidad sa batang yon.
See, another
Ganon.
another thing, especially for Zoe, traveling the Philippines, she can potentially travel from dive center to dive center to dive center and work her way around the country, see her way around the country. But the only requirement that I want her to do is to speak fluent, perfect English.
English.
Because for the simple fact, if she can do that and she was an instructor or a dive master or something like that, she'd be one of the biggest assets for that dive center. For the simple fact that every foreign person coming over could normally speak English, whether they're a little bit because they speak their own language in their own country. The common language in the Philippines for them to communicate with you would be English. So if Julie could um, do that and help Zoe speak perfect English and understand it, it'll help her later on in life.
Yeah,
How much tuition here when you studied photography? I never studied
photography.
photography.
Yeah, but how much is it there? Diba, there were some who's offering it.
Uh, they're asking there, so I don't know what the Philippines tuition
Yeah, but
is.
over there, but in
Over
Australia.
here, it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Mm-mm.
I had a look at studying um, photography here. Not that I was probably going to do it anyway because I don't see the point. But they wanted $14,500 Australian.
14 and a half?
Yeah,
No, thank you. Masyado pong
no,
malaki. Times 34 yung $14,000. Ganun kamahal.
that's
Pero dito, syempre, parang dito yata kasi, hindi ko alam, depende yata sa nagtuturo. Kasi dito nga, yung professional, Bob, did you know that I have learned that
that's
the
that's
photographer,
522,000 pesos.
taas, that's so expensive. I've learned that there are some professional photographers here that will charge you 2,000 pesos per hour just to have photo shoot with them,
Yeah,
just for their talent fee.
yeah.
So 2,000
And
pesos.
then you've got to pay extra for them to edit the photos.
Yes, yes, yes. And then if you wanted it to be printed, kung gusto mo ma-print yun and put it on a frame, you have to pay extra again.
Where if I come over there and I meet people as I travel around the Philippines, like I want to do with the channel and do videos and stuff like that,
Mm-mm.
whoever in whatever area I'm in, I want to do photos for them.
Photos. For free.
And
For
yeah,
free.
I
Yun,
don't
yan.
charge.
But, mm-mm. I'm just giving some people, I'm just giving people idea if they wanted to have, to get a photographer or doing some photo shoot. Kasi
Mm,
nagtanong-tanong kami mag-birthday kasi yung pamangkin ko. So, a professional photographer will charge you 2,000 pesos per hour just for the talent fee. Wala na yung iba. Other
yeah.
expenses, iba yung price po nun. Hmm.
Well, when you think about it, in Australia, it's actually more expensive than what it is in the Philippines.
Well, I remember your friend, 'di ba? When they got married, they got photographer.
Yeah, 10 grand for the wedding.
Oh, 'di ba? $10,000 just for a wedding photographer. Point
Mm,
taken from both sides, ma'am and sir. My parents provided for me as long as I needed it, but when I ask for things, they are not considered necessities. They make me pay them back.
mm.
That's what is.
There is some people in the Philippines that are changing ways, and I'm not saying it's bad, but you realize the most income coming into the Philippines are from foreign workers sending money back home. Now it's great to help your family and your family and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, some of these overseas workers, Filipino workers, are slaving their guts out, living very basically because the demand from home is too high.
Too high, yeah.
Now, okay, here's a story about my ex. She was a Filipino. Now, she done something wrong. She had money, and her mum told her that she had to send every single cent home, and it was up to me to pay for everything that she wanted. So, um, if she was over here on her own, she wouldn't survive. She really wouldn't.
She will not survive. Yeah.
And that's the thing. There's too many parents putting too much pressure on their kids to overachieve or do this or do that. I've known a few Filipinas, and I've got quite a few as friends. And one of the Filipinas that I know that's down in the Cebu province. Her ex boyfriend was I think he was an American. He used to beat her, and she finally left.
Mm-hmm.
And then her mother turned around and told her that she wasn't allowed to date a Filipino. It had to be a foreigner. And if she was smart, she'd go back to her ex boyfriend, the old bloke, even though he beat her. And she told her parents that he would hit me and stuff like that. She's like, don't care because we can get money from him for us. Now, that's sad in itself, the fact that you're willing to sell your child
Sacrifice your
just
child just to
so
get
you
just
can get money. It's not right.
mm-mm, mm-mm. Hello, Ma'am Emma Froa, Ma'am Lynn
No, sorry for the
Cam,
nosebleed.
Ma'am Rina H, Ma'am Lenny Sadi, Ma'am Diosa Gubat Pelayo. Yun, yung pinag-uusapan nga namin dito ano ba yung point namin pagdating sa pag-aaral? Are we going to support studying? Yes, we support studying, pero babayaran mo ba lahat o hindi? Ganon. Ah, dapat babayaran ka ng anak mo pagkayari mo siyang pag-aralin, o dapat matutustusan mo siya hanggang dahil tungkulin mo yung bilang magulang. Ayan, yan po yung isa sa topic namin ngayon na talagang diskusyon na namin ni team at madalas po sumasama yung loob ko dahil nga hindi siya pabor dito sa aking kagustuhan. Magkaiba po kami ng side pagdating dito sa topic na ito. So, Ma'am Emma Pro, shout out. And meron pa ako nakita kanina. I saw some comments earlier. Me, from Ma'am Christina Sebes, I'm a working student. My family cannot afford to send me to school.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I've had this discussion with Julie a lot, and we see different points of views.
Mm-mm.
Because here in Australia, if you want to go to university, you can get because we don't call it
Scholarship.
college, we call it university. You can get a HEX debt, which is a higher education credit or something. So you can get a loan from the government. They will pay for your uh, tuitions, as you would call it. But the only thing
Mm.
you have to pay is for all your books and your student fees. Now, if Joe or Zoe were here and they wanted to do college or university, now I'm not
You can apply to
paying.
that.
I'm not paying for that HEX debt. That's up to them. Now, at the end of the day, if you want higher education, that is your choice. I know higher education in the Philippines is a must, but also at the same time, if your family's going to help you reach that higher education, you should be paying it back, not just going, well, it's my ride. Um,
Ayun nga, sabi niya po sa Australia daw kasi meron yung government nila na parang project or something na basta matagal nang ginagawa ng Australia na kapag gusto mo pag-aralin sa university yung anak mo, going to college, pwede nilang bayaran, para siyang scholarship, pero babayaran mo rin once na nagkaroon ka ng trabaho. Papag-aralin ka ng government, tapos pag sumasahod ka na ng, if your salary will be $50,000 a month, baba, di ba? Or a year?
I think they've actually lowered it to about 45, 40 to
A
pay it
year.
back. Yeah.
A
But then
year?
they just, yeah, that amount a year, but they just take little bits out of your pay to pay it back for however
Mm.
long it takes. So it's not a
Ayun.
bad
So,
thing, but it's at the end of the day, it's teaching people that they need to learn to support themselves and rely on themselves.
So yun, 45,000. Pag sumasahod ka na ng $45,000 a year, pag i-deduct mo si government sa sahod mo, bilang bayad mo doon sa pinagpaaral nila sa'yo. Ganun sa Australia, kung gusto mo magtuloy ng university. So we have comment here from Ma'am Diosa Gubat Pelayo. Dapat po pag-aralin ng mga anak kasi yun lang ang maipapamana natin ng mga ina nila, makapagtapos sila at masaya na ang mga magulang kapag may capital. Totoo po yan. Yan po yung talaga yung side ko doon. Pero nga, meron palang ganun sa Australia. Kasi sa Pilipinas, wala eh. Pag wala ka ng pera, when you don't have money anymore, you have to stop.
Mm.
or else you have to work for your you have to work for your studies.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just reading Mixie's comment.
mm-mm,
Um, yeah, it's and that's the thing. My ex Filipina girlfriend that I had, I'm not saying her name and all that. I'll just say the ex. Her parents decided to have 13 kids so they can basically retire. Um, their eldest daughter was disowned because she decided to fall in love with a jeepney driver because he wasn't a high enough paying job for them, so they disowned her. It's sad things that happen in the Philippines. And look, this is my own opinion. I'm not saying that everyone can't have that opinion if they want,
mm.
but at the end of the day, like things need to change. Um, Otherwise, society can't improve.
And also in Australia, even though you were not able to go to college, you can get some courses, diba? You can get some license or what do you call that, Baba? A certificate?
You can do certificates.
Oo.
It what we call TAFE college. So it's not university degree, it's a diploma.
Hmm.
So um yeah, like you can get a like some
Certificate.
courses can go certificate 3, certificate 4, certificate 5, diploma, and then go to a degree, masters, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. But guys, it's at the end of the day, like if you want something, you need to work for it. Like with this YouTube channel, I have a full time job, and I want this to take off as well. And it's like I've got two full time jobs going all the time. When I'm at work, I'm thinking of something I can do for the YouTube channel or something like that. Like these giveaways are great and all that, but also I want to do my videos, and I don't really get time to do them. So these lives help a lot.
Ayun nga, tama, ma'am. Sa Pilipinas kasi, kung hindi ka nakapagtapos ng pag-aaral, in the Philippines, if you were not able to finish your studies, you will not get a good job. You will
Mm.
not be paid right. Like, for example, over there, if you're a painter, you're gonna get a good salary. But over here, if you're a painter, you're gonna get 500 to 600 a day.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when you say painter, that's not an
Mhm.
average job. That's a trade qualification that you actually have to do 4 years or 3 years study. Now, you're not doing study, you're learning skills on the job, but then you have to go to TAFE to take courses and exams and stuff like that on the paperwork. See,
Mm.
I failed school. I'm a high school dropout. I've learned more stuff from YouTube and reading stuff and everything out of school. I've got a certificate 3 in meat processing retail, so I'm a qualified butcher. I also know how to paint. But this is things that I had when I started dating my ex-wife. I was 18 and I had no education. I had no trade. I thought it was time to wake up, and I went and got a butchering trade. Now, um, it wasn't easy because you got all the shit jobs and all that, but you do it. You just do what you need to do for your family and stuff.
I like all the points of Ma'am Jaya Hanley, 86 Akwatan. Actually, totoo, ano, sa Pilipinas kasi, kukuha ka ng ID. You need an ID because you don't have any. And they will
Mm,
ask you to present an ID to have another ID. That's how it works in the Philippines. If you don't have ID, you cannot have another ID.
mm,
So, and also, gusto mo magtrabaho, bagong graduate ka, hahanapan ka nila ng experience. Bagong graduate ka, gusto nila ng experience. Paano ka magkakaroon ng experience? Eh, bagong graduate ka. Hindi ba pwedeng tanggapin yung OJT mo? Total, may experience. Experience din naman yun. Nasa field ka naman na. 'Di ba? Ayan, kahit sa work, gusto nila experience. Tapos ang nakalagay, even with or without experience, mag-a-apply ka, tatanungin, ilan ang experience mo? At syempre, mas lamang si may experience. Sa ibang bansa, no age limit as long as you can work any age, even matanda ka na. Bob, what is the retirement what is the retirement age in Australia?
The retirement age, men
Yeah.
or women? Men or
Oh,
women?
so it's different. How about for women?
Yep.
Women first.
Women, 65,
For men,
75.
oh, 'di ba? Sa Pilipinas 60 lang. Pahinga ka na. Pahinga ka na, anak. Only in the Philippines, yes po. Totoo 'yan. That's why kailangan talaga, tapos kailangan hard worker ka. Kap, sa ibang bansa kapag ano, wala kang diploma, hindi ka nakatapos, meron ka pa ring trabaho makukuha. Sa Pilipinas, pag wala kang diploma, hindi ko naman sinasabing masyado mababa kuha, pero ang actually kahit janitor nga ngayon eh, hinihingian ng iba ng diploma. Tapos, kung ano ka, magbabasura ka, magtitinda ka ng isda, ganun yung mga trabaho mo. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-office kasi hindi ka nakapagtapos. Unlike sa ibang bansa, basta nakapag meron kang certification, meron kang diploma ng something or certificate lang, good na may trabaho ka na. Tsaka mataas ang pasahod. Unlike sa Pilipinas, walang sahod. Isa pa po yan, backer system. Pag mag apply sa work, totoo po yan.
So
Totoo
with
yan.
Mixie saying that we've got high standards,
Mm-mm.
high standards for things. Yes, and I seen that firsthand the very first trip that I was there. The family that well, my ex-wife, her best friend has a house there, and they had a family staying there looking after their house and doing all the work around their house while they weren't there or whatever. They had a son that was 15 at the time when I was there, which was the same age as one of my nephews. Now, he said to me that anything less than a college degree is classed as a failure. I'm like, geez, that's rough. Now, the other saddest part was he dropped out of his university degree or his college degree. He's been doing it for
Mm-mm.
2 years, getting good grades because his sister came of age to go to college and the family couldn't afford to send both of them. So he had to quit college, go get a job to send his sister through college because it was more important for the Filipina to have a higher education than a Filipino. Now, you look at anywhere in the Western world, and it tells you that the men are dominating the
Women.
workforce.
Yeah.
But in the Philippines, it's the women getting all the better jobs, the higher paying jobs, than it is the men because they're the ones that are pushed for that higher education to get that better money. They might not be getting to like CEOs and stuff like that, but on average, a Filipino will have better wages than a Filipino because they got better education.
Yeah, and then they also said that in other country, you can work, ah, there's a lot of work, job openings in other countries, which is very true. You can
Hmm.
even clean houses of people over there. Diba in Australia, you can just talk to your friends and clean their house and then they're gonna pay you na.
Yeah, I don't know how I get messages for people to help get me to help them get jobs over here. Now,
Talaga?
Australia is really hard at bringing in workers from the Philippines.
Mm-mm.
They want you to be a skilled worker. Now, a maid and stuff like that is not really a skilled worker.
Yeah.
So when I was working in the meatworks, all them Filipinos got brought over. The Filipino men got brought over to work as a skilled worker in the meatworks, and then their wife could come over with them, and they could work anywhere they wanted because they were with their husband. So it's not easy. Like a lot of these people think it's simple, like it is to go to the US or Hong Kong or stuff like that. But Australia is a different place. It really is. We're a lot harder on education. Okay, now I even told Julie this, and a lot of people don't realize, but or your college degrees when you get them and you think that's great, I'm college educated, I am going to go to Australia. Your college degree is not worth anything here in Australia. You literally have to go and do more study to come
Yeah.
to the Australian
And some
standards.
exams. Yun nga,
Yeah.
yung sinasabi niya sa akin noong nakaraan na kahit teacher ka sa Pilipinas, pagdating mo sa Australia, kailangan mo pa rin mag-aral para maging teacher ka. Not unless, Baba, di ba, you said that if I am a nurse here in the Philippines, when I go to Australia, I can become a nurse too, di ba? I don't have
Yes.
to study anymore. O yun,
No.
napakalaki lamang ng mga nurses natin. Pero ngayon ako naman ay hindi ko
It's one of
masyadong
the
motivated
few. It's one of the few can actually,
courses.
yeah, that can actually transfer over.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
But if you were, okay, now nurse is one thing. If you were a doctor, you have to go and do further study before you can work in Australia. It doesn't translate over. Nurses are different.
Okay. Okay. Talaga? I thought it was just since they were both in the medical field, it's
Nope.
okay.
Nope.
Okay. Medyo
Nurse is
strict.
what? Nurse is one level, right? It's basic knowledge. Doctor is a higher knowledge that should be able to do what the nurses can, plus understand more. So they'll hold the doctors at a higher standards and make them learn even more.
Hmm. Okay. So,
Australia
pagdating ko sa
Australia is
Australia.
one of the few countries in the world where our degrees can translate to multiple different countries without even further study. Even some of the Americans don't do it. English, same. It's just I don't know why, but we have so many people, and this COVID is hurting Australia because we have so many foreign students come to Australia for their degrees, and it's like multi-million-dollar industry for foreign students to come to Australia, and it's been wiped out. Some of the universities here in Australia have lost 40% of their students because of foreign foreign students can't come over. Now, guys, we got sidetracked from the whole uh, course, the open water course. Now,
Yeah,
I want
we already went far from the real topic for
to,
today.
yeah. Now,
But it's an
guys,
interesting topic.
this is my own opinion. If you don't like what I've got to say and you feel that I'm don't know anything, if you don't want to follow me, that's fine. But this is my own opinion. I don't. I'm not saying the Philippines are bad or anything like that, but some of the old school things should change, and that's just me looking from an outside perspective. I know it's hard for Filipinos to do that with their family because family is everything over there. Without family, you basically rarely survive. But the culture needs to change, needs to evolve.
But I think
Um,
asking too much is not right anymore. Probably, well, you can help when you have a lot, but helping when you're already doesn't have any for yourself, I don't think that's still okay.
yeah, it happens all the time over there. I've
Like what
seen
you
it.
said earlier. Like what you said
I
earlier.
see it all the time.
Yeah, but like what you said earlier, they already know that their daughter was bitten by the husband, and still it's okay for the family as long as their daughter will gonna send something for the family. I
Hmm.
don't think that's still forgivable. So there's still
Yeah.
limitations for everything.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, now one of my highlights for this weekend was seeing this one creature. It was one of the greatest things I ever seen. Uh, and I'm not talking about the nudie rank that I found. I thought that was cool. But the biggest highlight of the whole entire course was seeing a manta ray.
Oh,
The
which
first,
one of those? Which color of those that you saw earlier?
okay, not that pink one.
I
But
thought the pink one. It's cute.
actually, that pink one there
Mm.
is from Australia. It's one of a
Talaga?
it's one of a kind to ever be filmed or recorded or anything like that, and it's here on the Great Barrier Reef. But
Hello po, Marisa Agum.
so this was a highlight. See, there's the pink one there.
At the pink one, oh. What?
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
it's from the Great Barrier Reef. It's one of a kind.
Why is it color pink?
I don't know. Why am I color white? It's just how it happened.
Oo nga naman. You're right because it's cold over there. Yeah.
But
Bakit po pinapakita ni Tim yan ngayon? Kasi
no,
kanina,
it's not
ito yung mga
cold over
nakita niya.
here.
Habang
The
nagda-diving
Great
sila.
Barrier Reef is like tropical your style. So I got to see one of these majestic creatures, and it was awesome because I watched it. It was coming in like just normal, and then as it got closer to
Yes,
us,
Ma'am Mixie.
it kind of turned. So I got to see the full back side of it, all the color on the top side of it, and it was incredible to see the Manta Ray. Now, we were really lucky from what we were told by the dive center because one, it's not that time of the year. Normally, they're not in the area until November. Plus, also that dive site that we went to, they are rarely seen there in manta season. So for it to be there it was just mind blowing. It was amazing. Now
So
I
you're
would
really
love
lucky earlier that you're able to see a Manta Ray.
exceptionally lucky. Like these beautiful creatures are one of the things that I've always wanted to see in the ocean, and I managed to get to see it on my very first deep open water dive. Like it wasn't really deep; we did 13 meters, but it was just incredible to see it. Now, these creatures can literally leap out of the ocean. That's how much power they can produce. They can literally jump out of the water and then land back in. And a lot of people think that they're doing it to get rid of parasites and stuff like that. But
you cannot go near Manta Ray, di ba? You cannot go near them.
You can swim around them.
Talaga? But their tail is dangerous, isn't it?
They may have a little spine on there, but if you don't threaten them, they're not going to bloody hurt you. Actually, no. Manta rays don't have a stinger. There. Reading it here. On this picture here. Stingray to manta ray, and it says right here, no stinger. Manta rays don't have stingers.
Okay.
Education 101.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Bob. Ayan, kaya nga minsan natutuwa din ako kasi natutunan sa lalaking to eh.
It was absolutely incredible to watch this happen.
Minsan kinig-kinig na lang talaga para matuto ka. That's cute, Baba. That looks like togepi.
So, yeah, so there you go. That's the pink ray there, and it says the pink manta ray of the Great Barrier Reef. So it's one of a kind, and it's only found here on the Great Barrier Reef.
Is it also an endangered species? Pink one?
You can say it's an endangered species because it's one of a kind. It has not been seen. It's a genetic mutation in the color pigments. So it's just a freak of nature, one of a kind. You could say it's an endangered species because it's only one. But basically, if it breeds more and more, its genetic code will start being passed out to the population, and it will just take a few generations down the track for that gene to spread in the local area of mantas, for it to cross again, and another one will be born. It's just like the white humpback whale Migaloo that goes up and down the Australian coast every year. Now, when he was first seen, he was one of a kind. He was the only white humpback whale ever recorded. Now they're getting more and more white humpback whales because of the simple fact that he is breeding with other whales their babies are passing out the genetics, and eventually we're getting more and more white whales.
Bob,
Not
what is the difference between a stingray and the manta ray? Manta ray.
Manta Ray feeds on plankton. It's a plankton feeder. Same as your whale shark. It's a
Okay, okay.
plankton feeder.
Uh,
So the big, you can see the opening right there,
uh-uh.
opening right there. Um, they feed on plankton. Stingrays generally go along the bottom looking for crustaceans, shrimps, prawns, crabs, whatever. So, oh yeah, that's a better image. There is that's the
So
opening.
they
So
said that
it's
isn't it scary to swim with the manta rays?
no, not at all. They're majestic. They're beautiful. They will not hurt you. They will swim around you. They will never hurt you.
Okay, so it is safe to swim with them.
Yeah,
How about for
very safe.
stingrays? Is it safe to swim with stingrays?
Yeah, you can. At the end of the day, okay. Now this is where stingrays get the bad hype because Steve Irwin died 7 years ago, I think, or 10 years ago, whatever it was, and he copped a barb up in the chest. Now, an animal's only going to attack if it feels threatened. Maybe Steve got too close, whatever, and it's thrown its tail up and it's got him. Now, generally, a stingray will stay where it is, very still, thinking that you can't see it, and it will wait for you to go over. But if you get too close, it will take off. Now, your report with your open water diving, you do not touch anything in the ocean. No corals, no rocks, no animals. Now, if you want to break that rule and touch something and something happens to you, it's your stupid fault. You shouldn't have done it. You were taught not to do it, and stop being nosy and sticking your finger in everything.
Okay, so if you're gonna be in a bad situation, it is already your fault because you were already told not to do it, but you still do it.
Yeah. Now, like you got like your fire corals and stuff like that. Like you touch that and it's gonna burn. It's gonna sting you. Now you're told, don't touch coral. Don't touch this. Don't do that. Why do it? so, so that was my highlight. Seeing that manta, it was absolutely stunning. Apparently, I only seen it the once when I descended down for the first time. I looked around and it was in the background there, and I was just like, wow. Apparently, when we went down further and we turned around and come back to the boat, it was still swimming around, and a few people seen it then, but I didn't because I was looking under ledges and stuff like that, looking for nudibranchs, and I managed to find one on my second dive. I'll show that very shortly, but um, the fish. There were so many colorful fish, so beautiful. It was great. I had an absolute blast. Like, I wished I had more air in some of the tanks so I could stay down longer. Um, when you when you get fascinated about what you're finding, what you're seeing, you start not focusing on your breathing, so it becomes a lot easier. So that was a good thing. Now, let's see. No, that didn't work. Okay, now so I'm going to remove that one, and I'm going to go to the next photo, a next share that I'm going to do, which is going to be stop screen. Um, excuse me. Right, so maybe I just do whole screen.
Too bad you were not able to take photos of the manta ray. Still a
Yeah.
good experience finding it, sir.
Um,
That's really your target.
yeah. So on my second dive, now I was looking so much to try and find nudibranchs. Now I've got an ID app on my phone for nudibranchs, so I can find it. But also, I got this is a nudibranch book for the ones here in Australia on the sunny coast. Now, that one, I found it.
Ma'am Laura Daginod sa Tumbaga. Hello po. Hello si Swisilda. Jojoy Rosauro.
So
Hello po.
I found that one. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
there.
we can see it.
Now, this book, I want to tick them off. I actually want to get sticky notes and put it in the book and tick them off.
Bob, what's that again daw? What's that again, Sir Tim? What kind of species is that?
That's a nudibranch. Or nudie. I like to call it.
Nudie. Nudie?
Nudibranch. So you can hang on. I'll see if I can.
Hello, Ma'am Busho.
There you go.
Bob, they were asking if they can touch that kind of that nudie.
No. Don't touch any nudibranch. They are toxic. They have got toxic in them.
Do they have stings too?
No, they don't sting you, but they got like toxic. If it gets into your system, it can do bad stuff.
Bawal daw po
So that's how you spell nudibranch there. Nudibranch, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Some people say nudibranch. Most people say nudibranch. I say nudies because I like nudies.
I know. You like a different nudies.
Yeah. So this was the only one
Bob,
that I found.
Is that a worm?
No, the nudibranchs are a sea slug.
Sea slugs.
Yeah. So there's so many different types. This is just the one that I found. Now on the coast here, it says that it's an occasional one to find, not a. They've got a system 1 to 5. So 1's very rare, 2's rare, occasional is 3, 4 is frequent, and 5 is very common. So even though I found that today, I am not ticking that off in my book because the simple fact that I couldn't get a photo of it. Doesn't count if I couldn't get a photo of it. So
just to give you idea po, sa SpongeBob na pinapanood natin, ito po siya, para siyang monster sa SpongeBob eh. Sa SpongeBob siya ay monster. Pero sa totoong buhay siya ay maliliit na item lamang. Kapag lumalabas na ganyan sa SpongeBob, ito siya. Pero cute siya.
This the nudibranch is one of the reasons why I wanted to get into underwater photography and taking photos. So because of that book, because I didn't take a photo, I wasn't allowed to have a camera or anything like that. Like if I had a GoPro, I would have filmed it because it was actually quite big. It was about that big. I could see it as I was descending from things. Now some nudibranchs can be about this big, even smaller, big. You've got the largest nudibranch in the world in your ocean over there. It's called the Spanish dancer. It can be up to 60 centimeters long. But this was a gorgeous little one that I've seen as I was coming down. And I'm sitting there going, oh, underwater making sounds. And I'm telling my buddy, I'm like, oh, look. And no one could understand what the hell I was pointing at or what the hell it was.
I don't think your buddy has an idea about that one.
No. I was sitting there going like this. I was seeing a fish and I was going like this. And he's like, after the first dive, I'm like, goat fish. That means goat fish. And I was trying to tell him because he's a spear fisherman. Hello, Zoe. How are you, beautiful?
Hello, guys. Come. What is that?
Fish,
it's called nudibranch. Huh?
Yeah.
Nudibranch. Okay. Bob, what's the difference between a slug and a nudibranch?
I don't know. Honestly. Hey, Cassie. Hello, gorgeous. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You a baby shark? Are you a baby shark? Well, you lost the tooth already.
Baby girl. Yeah. It looks like it can be a monster in Pokemon.
There is actually one when I was trying to find this one. Someone said the sea slug, the Pokemon of the sea. And there is an actual there's there is a nudibranch that is called the Pikachu nudie.
Oo, oo,
It's
oo.
not
Which one
it's
is
not
doing?
the official name, but if you say to a diver, "Have you seen the Pikachu nudie?" They know which one you're talking about. It's a yellow one with some black. It has like a couple of things that go up. It's got black, blue, and white tips, and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people call it the Pikachu. Um, but yeah, I was so stoked when I found this nudie. It was the only one that I seen, and I was looking for him. I was getting in trouble because I was
They
swimming
have
off
horn
looking
like
for.
tentacles. Rachel said they have horn like tentacles.
Yeah, so what they are called, they're actually called rhinophores. Now I'm gonna find. Okay, I am going to explain this because this is one variety of nudibranch. Um, okay, so here we go.
Oh, that
This
looks nice.
okay, this one here, right?
That
That's
also
their
that
rhinophore.
also looks like a Pokemon.
Yeah. So that's these little antennas things here are called
Hmm.
rhinophores, and this here is called their butt feathers. That's their naked gills.
Hmm.
So
It
this
looks
is
like a coral.
yeah, and then you've got
Bob,
you
can
got
you show them uh the nudie that can be found in the Philippines?
oh, there's heaps that
Apo.
can be found.
Kasi meron din tayo niyan sa Pilipinas po
Oh,
ay
hang
sa
on,
Rebel Team.
that's the
Yeah,
Pikachu nudie.
there's the Pokemon.
That's the Pikachu nudie.
Oo. Pikachu. I got you.
You can actually get this one in a white version too, but everyone likes the Pikachu one. But
In yellow.
and we want to have a look at ones in the Philippines.
Yeah. So they will also have the idea how it looks
See,
like
look
here.
at
Maybe
this.
they
This was found in NLL.
where?
Um, NLL.
Analaw Island. Is that an island?
NLL. That one's found in NLL as well. All these can be found in the Philippines.
Ayan. So
Um,
meron pala tayo sa Pilipinas pero parang
that
wala tayong
one's
idea.
that
Oh,
one was found in NLL as well. Um, so yeah,
Anilaw,
there's.
Baba. It's called Anilaw.
I just
Thank you,
pronounce
Ma'am
it the way I
Missy.
do. I'm a Westerner. I don't pronounce everything properly.
That's what I'm thinking. I keep on thinking, what is Analaw? Is it an island?
Um,
Neon
but
Nebrota
see,
Nudilux majestic.
there's that one that I was showing you before. It can be found over there as well. Um, I think these ones look quite nice. This one was Porta Galera. Um, so that one's a different style. But oh, hang on. Who's a Dragon Ball Z fan? They reckon that's like the Dragon Ball Z of the nudibranchs.
It looks good then. All of them looks good.
Mm. Now
Lich.
this is
Somebody said it's a lich. No daw po
no,
eh, sabi ni Tim.
no leech. But yeah, this is just
Hello, Ma'am Nika Magsote.
the things that this one I like this one. This one they nicknamed the panda nudie,
Ah, because it looks like the color is like panda.
and they can be massive. They must eat too
Gotta
much
collect the
bamboo.
Dragon Balls. You need 7,
Yeah,
ma'am.
but yeah, like all these are being found in the Philippines. There's so many varieties. There is, if I remember correctly, there's about
I'm gonna call it cookies
nine,
and cream
eight
noodles.
hundred, I think, species of nudibranchs that can be found in the Philippines,
Talaga, there's
which
800
is
of it and I never seen any.
it's it's actually got the highest nudibranch of variety of species of nudies in the world, the
Mm-mm.
Philippines. Oh, here you go. This one was found in southern Leyte.
Oh,
So it's the one that I showed before, but this one was found in southern Leyte. But yeah, I just want to get out and I want to find these here in Australia and over in the Philippines. Like I'd love to be able to find one of these. Now this one was
Bob,
found in
do the branch
Alona
usually
Beach.
do
That
the
was
branch
found.
usually be found near the corals or something?
These these nudies can be found from 1 foot of water all the way down to 30 meters, 40 meters. So it doesn't matter where you are and how far you can snorkel or whatever. They can be found anywhere from 1 foot of water all the way down to like 30 meters.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am ni Busyo Komendador, di daw po pwedeng hawakan. May ano daw po siya. May toxin. Yun,
Toxins,
basta
yeah.
makakalason.
They're beautiful. Don't touch them. Just
Totoo
admire
po
them.
si Ronald Sia. Diba
Just
talaga,
admire them.
diba talaga gumawa si Lord na amaze ka talaga. And hindi ko alam na marami pa pala tayong bagay na dapat ah hanapin sa mundo na hindi pa natin nakikita. Sir, did you see dolphin when diving?
I seen them on the surface. There was dolphins, but they never came in for us to look at them underwater. But we seen them playing in the distance. We actually seen whales jumping probably about 500 meters out. So we
Mm.
couldn't hear their songs or anything like that, but we could see them jumping and stuff like that. But unfortunately, we didn't have any whales come in or any dolphins. But I don't care because I seen the nudie bank and I seen the manta, so I don't care if I didn't see a dolphin. Yeah, so you have definitely got some
How
beautiful
about
nudie
jellyfish,
banks.
sir? There are lots of beautiful ones too.
Yeah, but the only thing is, I don't want to be stung by a jellyfish, so I try and stay away from them.
Ma'am Nika Magsote, hindi po si Timon nag-picture niyan, ma'am. Ano, bawal po sila mag-picture habang nasa diving course sila. Hindi po inallowed yung
So
taking
one of
photos and videos po.
one of the other things that I did see was a spotted moray eel. I didn't get to see his head, but he was like yay round. He was a good size. I managed to see another little baby eel. He had no color. He wasn't colored out yet, and he was about that big, and he was about as thick as my thumb. Like he was really active looking. It was really cool. Um, and one of the other things that we come across was a wobbegong shark.
How do you call it?
A wobbegong shark.
Wobbegong shark?
Yeah, wobbegong.
Wobbegong.
Now these are amazing. Wobbegong sharks are amazing to look at. To everything, just don't touch them. They are not going to hurt you as long as you don't touch them, because they can literally bend right round and grab their tail. They're one of the few sharks that can fully extend back to bite their tail. And they are known as the bulldogs of the sea. If they do latch
Oh,
on, they don't like letting go. So they're not gonna tear flesh. It's more like a love bite. Like their teeth are not very big, but they will hold on and they will not let go. If they let go, it's up to them. If not, I've heard stories of people going to the emergency ward in the hospital to have the wobbegong removed from their leg or arm because they were stupid enough to touch it. Like,
and how big do they grow?
um, they can go up to about 6 foot, I think.
Huh?
Mm. But
That
they're
looks
just
bad
really
news.
they're incredible um, creatures to look at. Like I don't care what people have to say. Any animal can be aggressive as long as you treat it with respect and respect their boundaries. You have nothing to fear. Look like bad news. They're just grumpy old men. But I had so much fun in in the water today, looking at all the different things. Now, uh, thank you, Rochelle.
Sis Rochelle, nagsasend ka na rin ng sticker ngayon, Sis Rochelle. Thank you, Sis Rochelle.
Um, Now, I had an absolute ball, and I want to do more. Now, it might take a while for me to do some videos, and I am going to set up a channel just for my scuba diving. So, guys, if you want to see my adventures underwater as well, there will be another channel set up, and you're more than welcome to come over and see that. It's just going to be basically anything to do with scuba diving, travels with scuba diving, videos with scuba diving, and stuff like that. Like, there won't be if I manage to have a giveaway from a sponsor or something like that, it's going to be done differently. It's not going to be these cash giveaways that I do on this channel. This channel will be the only channel that I do stuff like that with. So there'll be two different channels, and it's up to you guys whether you want to support me over there as well. It would be much appreciated, but I'm not going to force anyone to come over and watch that stuff. Now,
And the name of it will be
Diving Monkey.
Diving Monkey. Ayan,
Diving
so
Monkey.
mag-open niya si Tim ng panibagong
Hmm.
panibagong channel niya sa YouTube, which will gonna be called Diving Monkey. Pero hindi pa po, pinag-iisipan pa kung kailan, basta makapag-start siya ng diving, pwede na siguro. Maghintay lang po tayo mga madam at sir kung kailan yon. Pero doon po sa channel na yun, wala pong giveaway. Dito lang sa channel na ito. So, sana po supportahan nyo rin yun pag nilabas.
So, what's next for me with scuba diving? Well, I'll probably wait until next week or whenever I got a free day, and I'm actually going to take my gear to the swimming pool, the local swimming pool, and I'm going to do some training in the swimming pool on my own um, with just working on my breathing, working on my buoyancy and stuff like that. And also, I'm going to try and meet up with some local divers here on the coast to see if I can start making some dive buddies and start going into the ocean as well up on the sunny coast. But I'm not in a rush to do that because I know that I need to work on my breathing and I need to work on my buoyancy. So, with that said, I'm just going to take things slow. There's no rush. And then I'm going to work on everything, get it really good. And then I'm going to start hitting the open water. And I'm going to try and tee up with people that want to come with me that are going to be okay with doing macro photography because that's going to be what I'm going to be chasing with nudie ranks. And yeah, it's just you've got to when you go out with a dive buddy, they've got to have the same interest as what you're looking for too. Because if you want to look for the small things, you're going to stop. You're going to look around, and you're not going to move very much because you're going to be focusing trying to find everything. Where if you're there just to look at coral and fish, you probably swim off 10 meters, 20 meters before you realize that I hadn't moved because I might be looking for stuff for diving monkeys first upload. Well, the first few videos on diving monkey is going to be probably boring because the first video that I'll do will be introducing the channel and what I'm doing with the channel. So it'll just be like just an introduction video. It's going to be a boring one. Most people are not going to care about it, whatever. And then I think I might take the GoPro to the local swimming pool and I might do some filming of me either sitting on the bottom of the pool breathing, maybe some swimming around, stuff like that. Like just it'll be some basic learning stuff. It's not going to be anything exciting, but it's some things people may not think of. So I'm just going to do whatever I want, and if people watch it, watch it.
Well, at least you can, maybe you could also share some idea to people with regards to the diving, just in case they wanted to learn how to or
I
start
I
diving.
I would, but I wouldn't. Now, for someone to just finish their open water and start saying this is what you should do and this is what you should do and this is what you should do is not going to go down well, because at the end of the day you are very new at it yourself. You should wait until you are maybe an open water diver, or like an advanced open water diver, that's got maybe 100 dives under your belt. I've got 4 dives from this
Mm-mm.
week, but in time I might do tips and tricks. I'm going to do probably some gear review and stuff like that, of stuff. Um, but I just I can't wait to get this bad boy out there and taking photos. Um,
Hope soon, sir, you and Mom Julie are together with your vlogs. We're hoping for that too po.
mm, be much easier if I had a monkey holding the camera.
Mhm. You may not be able to talk. Sobrang talkative po ako minsan eh. Wag lang English talagang minsan nosebleed talaga ako pag wala sa mood, ganun. Baka kailangan akong lasingin, ganto. Bob, do you remember this, Baba?
Yeah, you got so drunk.
Baka kailangan
All
akong
right,
lasingin
guys.
para maging talkative doon.
Well, I just wanted to share what I was doing with my course. I finished it. I completed my open water. I've done 4 dives. We dove down to 13.8 meters. The longest dive we did over the weekend was 44 minutes. Um, I've seen the Manta Ray. I've seen the Wobbegong. I've seen the eel. I've seen the. Oh, we seen 2 turtles too. I forgot to mention we seen 2 turtles. That was pretty
Oo
cool.
lang.
Um, and then also we've seen the manta. So I had an absolutely amazing time. Once you stop thinking about things and you just relax into enjoying the dive. Like Saturday, I enjoyed watching the fish. Um, I thought it was pretty cool, but I just want to get out and explore more underneath the water. I really do. So, in saying that, guys, back to work tomorrow for me, and I hope everyone is well and safe in the Philippines. And
Soju lang
I'm
malakas. Yeah, ayan, naglalabasa na yung mga tanggera-tanggero dito. Oh, I think they were all soju drinkers. Bob,
um,
even when we bought the soju, it should have Yakult or Sprite when I drink it, so that you won't gonna get drunk that easy. For
what's
this
the
one, it's grapefruit flavor.
yeah? What's the fun in not getting drunk quick?
You want me to get drunk very fast. Sarap uminom ngayon, Ma'am Julie, kasi maulan. Yes. Yeah. Cuddle weather. Cuddle weather lang talaga.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get off the channel. Gonna call it a night. Need to get to bed and get to work tomorrow early in the morning. Get some sleep, and we'll see you through the week sometime. We'll let you know when I'm going back live or if I get a video up or something like that. But guys, don't forget, giveaway, spread it more, get it out there for us. You're doing a great job. 1,000 views in 3 days, but let's get that number up really high.
Mm-mm.
Get it out there, spread it to everyone. Tag as many
Continue
friends as you
tagging
want.
po. Continue tagging and don't forget to do the @ bago kayo mag-tag.
Okay. All right, guys.
Yon.
Have a lovely night. Have a lovely evening, and I will see you on the
Mami
next one.
Busyo, talaga ba? Thank you everyone for joining us tonight, and we enjoyed talking with you po. At salamat po sa inyong salamat mga ka-nosebleed. Wait, I already have a call for them. Kanosbid. Thank you mga Kanosbid. Thank you everyone. Salamat, salamat. Continue tagging po and watching our videos.
Thank
Good
you,
night,
Ken.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mama. Love you. All
Bye,
right.
guys.
Bye, guys.